Welcome to Phatz Corner, where our special guest today, Tammy D. Taylor.
Hey, Phatz, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. I know what your busy schedule. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Anything for you.
Thanks.
Anything for you.
So my question for the that I think everybody have on their mind, just wondering, what made you fall in love with hip hop?
I know that's what everybody wanted to know when they found out I was coming on the show. What made Tammy fall in love with hip hop?
But for real, the question is, I want to ask you, what made you fall in love with modeling?
You know what? I modeled a couple of times when I was a teenager. My mom put me in a couple of fashion shows, and I always loved clothes and making things pretty. I used to dress my dolls and stuff. My dolls stayed sharp. I used to dress them up and sit them across the little table I had, and I would change their clothes a couple of times a day. I loved the fashion in that. So. Fast forward like 25, almost 30 years, I meet Tina Bridges, TLA.
TLA?
What's up, Tina? And then I get into modeling again. And that's when I really fell in love with it, because I absolutely love everything about modeling, the actual modeling itself, not a lot of the things that go on behind the scenes, but definitely modeling itself. I fell in love with it. That's when I actually fell in love.
Definitely, because you're a great model.
Thank you.
By the way, Tammy is one of my brand ambassadors, and I really appreciate working with her. Just her morals, her ethics is just help. She helped me along the way a lot of times when I mess up or if something that I'm not doing right. She try and help me, which I appreciate that, because some people let you just go a whole different direction just to see what happens. So I really appreciate the love that you give me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you, because you provided me with several opportunities to do things that I wouldn't be able to do, like, New York Fashion Week in September. So thank you. I appreciate that.
You know some problem. You already know that. And so outside of being in love with hip hop, outside of modeling, what other avenues are you in? Because I know you're into a little bit of everything. You always booked and busy.
Yeah, booked, busy, and blessed. I'm going more now into the faith-based entertainment side of things. God put it on me. I want you to be, and I want you to do what you're doing, but I need to do it to glorify Him.
Amen.
So He has provided me. I'm like, okay, Lord, so what you want me to do? And He has provided me with people and opportunities to be able to say that exact platform. So with that, I have my nonprofit organization, The Weight We Carry, and then I have a talk show that is going to come out soon on Ego Entertainment TV, which is the Tammy's Queendom Conversations, and all of this is what it's surrounding is the empowerment of women and the stories that these women have from where they were in such a dark place, and how God brought them out and what they're doing now, and that is that's my purpose. My purpose is to show women that they are not their circumstance. Show them that God has more for them. And again, He's provided me with opportunities and platforms to do that very thing, to allow women to love themselves, give them permission to love themselves. And again, I have a podcast as well called The Curve Effect. And what we do there is we promote body positivity, self-love. And so it all comes together under an umbrella my newest business, which is called the Tammy's Queendom LLC. It all falls under that umbrella. So everything I do now, again, is going to glorify God, and everything, even in my modeling.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, even in my modeling, when a woman sees me on the runway at 53 years old,
53 years young.
Yeah, 53 years young is, when they see me, they can, even if they don't want to model, they are inspired to pursue whatever dream it is. You're never too old. So again, everything that I do, it falls under the umbrella of self-love, women's empowerment, inspiration, and things like that.
I really do. I like that. I'm glad to hear that. What providing is self love for other women, that's kind of good because you have so many women going through so many issues, like with domestic violence or with just abuse in general or just a bad relationship. It don't have to even be domestic violence, just a bad relationship. It could be a verbal abuse, any kind of abuse. So that helping them along the way is something that can help them, especially if they have kids or have daughters. You don't want that to pass down to the daughter. So I really appreciate that what you're doing because that just comes across on a broader scale than just something local.
Right.
That's like global for real because it's going to be all around the world.
And full transparency, I am a survivor of domestic violence. So I have a story. I have a story to tell, and I have a story of low self-esteem. I have a story of not loving myself. I have a story of going to photo shoots, having everybody in the room telling me how beautiful I am, and come home and look in the mirror and hated who I saw.
And I'm sorry to hear that, but that's one thing you came across it, you came out of it on the brighter side,
Exactly.
and then when you're going to help the next person. So that's one thing. It's sad that it happened, but sometimes, like they said, things that happen, it could be a blessing or a lesson.
Right.
So actually, it's kind of like it was a little bit of both because you learned not to deal with that same person, but the blessing is that you're going to bless the next person.
Exactly. And I've come to find out, and God's grace is so amazing, but I come to find out that everything that I went through was for this reason. If I had not gone through that, I would not be able to have the platform that I have now to empower other women. So you can see that there's a light. I'm the light at the end of the tunnel.
Definitely.
So that's
You the good light at the end of the
yeah.
tunnel.
I'm the good light at the end of the tunnel. Yes.
So where do you see yourself with the nonprofit and going on, and then you're helping other individuals? Where would you see yourself in 5 years going as far as with the nonprofit tied into the ministry and your modeling and just all your avenues that you're on right now?
Okay, so in 5 years, I hope that Tammy's Queendom is a full production company, as well as my nonprofit. I want to be able to provide scholarships. I want to get on the scale of providing scholarships and being able to provide employment. Now, I do have some connections with staffing agencies right now, but I want to be able to provide training and employment. I want that. I want a training center,
Okay.
And then I also want to be able to provide scholarships to send young women to school to pursue the career that they've always wanted, as far as the nonprofit side. Now, as far as the entire umbrella of Tammy's Queendom, I also want to be able to go into producing fashion. Not that we have fashion shows. I also want to be able to produce productions that empower, whether it be fairs, job fairs, whether it be stage plays, whether it be, but anything that will allow and portray women in a positive light and show that their strength. You have the strength in you. We just got to pull it out.
Okay, I like that. I got one quick question though. If you got some connections with an employment agency, I'm looking for something on Wednesdays, maybe from like 12 to 2. That's all I can work. If you could help me, then just shoot my shot for a job.
Absolutely. Wednesdays 12 to 2, 1 day a week.
Yeah.
2 hours a day.
I need my lunch break in there too, though.
With a lunch break. From 12 to 2 with the lunch break.
But okay, outside of that, then this going to sound and not taking away from helping the women, but what about, would you be open to helping guys too? Because sometimes you have guys that's going through something. If a guy approach you and ask you, would you be willing to help them out along the way too?
Well, I would be able to connect them with someone that would be able to my calling,
Yes.
my purpose is for women. That's what God put on my heart. But I certainly would be able to direct a gentleman to an organization that can help men as well.
Okay. Cause I know it's not that many, but I'm just saying just in case it's always that one that something might happen.
No,
So that's why I just
no, it's more than one. It's quite a bit. But the thing is, men are taught to not
speak.
speak. They are taught to be strong. They are taught to not speak on it. They're taught not to display weakness. And they think that asking for help is weakness, but when in actuality it's a strength. You know, again, my calling, my purpose, my mission, what God called me to do is focus on women, but I definitely would be able to get them in touch with someone that can assist men as well.
Okay, I like that. Thank you. So as far as have you been in? I want to say I know you did. Have you done acting before?
I have. I
Okay.
have. I've acted, and I'm trying to get into it. Big plug for myself. I want to act. Y'all out there, but I have worked with Tina Bridges in a TLB production. She does, unscripted movie shorts. So I've had some parts in that. I've also had a part in a YouTube series that she had called The Jump Off. So,
Okay.
I played the main character's mom, Mama Joy, in
Okay.
that. So it's on YouTube under TLB Productions. So yeah, but I've done some acting and I hope to do more.
Okay, most definitely. So we'll segue into the act. I moved a little bit first. Moved a little bit ahead. I was sent to ask you, far as your nonprofit, and I know we're going to talk about this at the end of the show, but also I want to ask you to give your contact information now because as people are watching, they might miss it at the end. Some people might float off, so that way you have an opportunity to have it from the beginning, or in the middle, and at the end. So
Okay.
can you give your contact information?
Sure. The name of my nonprofit is The Weight We Carry, Women's Initiative Inc., and you can actually go to the website, which is The Weight We Carry, www.theweightwecarry.net. You could go there. You can also go to my website, which is www.tammydtaylor.com, which also gives you a link to the website for The Weight We Carry. You can email The Weight We Carry at theweightwecarryinc@gmail.com. And you can also Google The Weight We Carry Women's Initiative Inc., and that information will pop up as well.
So y'all have it, you'll have it. If anything is going on, just look it up. The Weight We Carry. You can find it on all social medias, and you can Google it. Just wanted to give y'all extra incentive just to write it down, just in case you might need it, because you never know what someone's going through. And getting back into the modeling field, I know you have a big show coming up June the 8th.
Yes, the TLA show, the 13th annual Ages Beauty and Bows Fashion Show. June the 8th. It's at Jazzy J's venue, Old National. Doors open at 3. Show starts at 4. I will be one of the red carpet hosts there. So come check me out on the red carpet. And yeah, all the models are age 40 and up. And we going to kill it. 13 years. 13 years. We trying to sell it out again. We will sell it out again. We've sold out 12 years straight. We sold out during COVID. And we're going to sell out this year, too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Anything TLA do is great. I support TLA fully.
Yeah, shout out to Tina Bridges, man. Shout out.
Always. So outside of the modeling, we done spoke on modeling. We done spoke on the acting a little bit. We spoke on the nonprofit. And we spoke on your faith base that you're leading, that your direction you're going in. So a question that I think is on everybody's mind is about your personal life. You know it's great. Get that.
Oh, gosh.
So being in the fashion field, it's kind of hard being in a relationship. I mean, me personally, I know that. So I know you know that already. And you're my ambassador. We talk all the time. We talk 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. Like I call you like you don't got a job.
I know. And I'll be up though. That's the part. You be like, you up? Yeah, I'm up.
So what kind of, like, in the fashion field, just speaking for yourself, I know you can't speak for all other models, but what is a relationship? Is it harder to keep a relationship, or you think it's easier to keep a relationship in the fashion field?
It's harder. I think it's harder just because Well, my personal experience, there's been a couple of reasons. I'm busy. I'm very busy. So if you're not already in this industry, it's hard to understand that I'm just that busy. They really just think I'm just blowing them off, which I'm not. I'm just busy. Even though I do make time when I can, I do make time for people that I want to spend time with, but sometimes it's just not possible. And you know, it's easier when you have somebody that's in this industry because they understand. Because 9 times out of 10 they got the same issue too. So then when we do come together, it's that much more special because we've been apart and we've been busy.
You made time for each other.
You make time for each other, right? Now, another thing with that being in the industry, this circle in Atlanta, this is it's not a big circle. So you meet somebody, you gotta wonder
how many other people they met,
how many people I know how many people I know you done dealt with. So you kind of standoffish on that as well. And then you have there's people that want to date you because you're a model. It's people that want to say, yeah, I was with so and so. When they see you on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, you get those. You get the inbox crazies. You get them. But then you get the men that really just can't deal with the fact that your job is to be looked at.
True.
That's my job. People, if people don't look at me, then I don't get booked. If people don't want to look at me, I don't get booked. If people don't want to take pictures of me,
you don't get booked.
I don't get booked. If people don't want to watch me walk, I don't get booked. So then there's a lot of insecurity there because there's some men that just like
cover up. I don't want to see all that. I don't want my friend to see all that.
But the thing is, I don't. My pictures. If you look on my pictures, the majority of them, I'm pretty much dressed. But it's just the fact that I'm constantly putting pictures out there. I'm constantly.
But that's how you get your work. So
that's how I get my work. So it's kind of hard for some men to understand that. Yes, people are looking at me, but I'm only looking at you, and a lot of men can't understand that. That's the biggest one. A lot of men, they'll be like, "Oh, you a model," or I'm like, "Oh, I'm a model." "Oh, you a model," and then.
You modeling.
And then they was like, "Oh, you a model. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not. I don't just take pictures and post them.
You're not an Instagram model. You're a real model.
Bruh, I get paid. This what I do. And that's when it comes in. When the reality hits, I can tell somebody I'm a model, but then when you get to see and notice and see my work, you see that I'm true to this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm on magazine covers and I'm in magazines and I'm on fashion show. I'm in fashion shows. There's pictures of me everywhere. You can Google me and see pictures. You know what I'm saying? When they see that, then that's when they start pulling back because, they don't want me to have that much exposure. And regardless of the clothes that I have on, it's just that exposure now. As far as how I dress and me out being naked and stuff, I don't do that. So it's not the clothes that I wear. It's just the fact that people just, people look at me and you got to understand they got to, or I'm not a model. You know what I'm saying? If people stop wanting to see me, then I know I'm no longer a model.
You got saying Kendrick Lamar with them. That saying they not like us, and then pointed to Instagram pictures. Said they not like us.
Yeah. So and that makes it difficult. I've yet to find even my most recent ex, which has been a couple of years ago, in this most serious relationship, he encouraged me. This was before I was with him, before I joined TLA. He encouraged me to join TLA. You beautiful, you be great, blah, blah, blah. As soon as I started doing it, it became a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But
But that's how people are. But I like the only thing I like about the fashion industry when dating that I could use as an excuse. Cause if I don't want to talk, I'm be like, I'm working. I tell them in a minute. I'd be like, I'm working. I'm in the middle of a project. I'm pulling clothes out. I'm getting ready for a show. I'm ready for my podcast. I
and that's
got
the
so many excuses.
and that's the thing. People be thinking I'm using that as an excuse, and it's not. I really be doing stuff most of the time.
I tell them in a minute. I said, I'm getting ready for a show. I'm trying to pull the clothes out. I be looking at the phone. I'm like, oh, God, you texting back again. And I just let it. I sit there for a minute. I come back. Oh, I was in the middle of something.
See, fast.
Knowing I was watching TV.
That's the reason why people. That's the reason why people don't be believing me right there, and I be telling the truth.
I know. I have a good time. I tell people, they be like, don't you need an assistant? They say, you work so much, you need an assistant. I said, if I had an assistant, we both be sitting there watching the stores. And if I had to change up, I don't want them to be like, oh, well, so you ain't doing nothing then.
Yeah, right.
We got to catch myself. You can't be too honest.
Yeah, so it's difficult, but God got somebody for me. He got somebody tailored for everything that I got going on. He gonna fit right in as soon as I don't know what God waiting on, but I guess it'll come.
So what kind of guy would you be looking for? You be looking for like the Morris Chestnut type, or maybe like the Cedric the Entertainer type.
Really? Oh.
That go on both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, you really did. You went from one. Yeah, you did. Somewhere in the middle, I would guess. I love a man that can make me laugh. I really do. I do. If you can make me laugh, you pretty much like truly laugh and just be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I love a man that can make me laugh. Of course, I want him to be easy on the eyes. I don't. I don't have. Well, I have a type, but I ain't gonna say it. But I do have a type that I normally gravitate to because I'm trying to get better with that type thing. But I do want somebody that can make me laugh and make me relax and just chill out and have a good time because it ain't always about going out. I do want to go on dates and things like that, but it's not all about going out, how much money you can spend on me and things like that. I need somebody to make me feel good on the inside.
Cook you a nice dinner at home.
Yeah, just make me just make me, relaxed, not necessarily make me happy because I'm happy myself. You enhance that, of course, but I'm happy with myself.
Okay.
So, but if you make me laugh and relax and, you come over or I come over, we get together and, we just smiling and, even though of course, all relationships have problems, all relationships, you have arguments and things like that. But for the most part, I know that you have a good heart.
Mm-hmm.
Then
it's like a Kevin Hart. Had to catch you.
Boy. But if you have a good heart, I look at the heart of the man.
Okay, I got you.
So
you see it. You see that, guys. She looking for somebody else. Got a good heart, a good man on their shoulder. She said if you got about 12 or 13 goals, that'll be good. And if you got some good goals, that'll be good.
No, not goals. Now that is one. That's a check. That is an X, boy. I do not do the grills, man. No.
They're gonna put the grills on there and they won't have no teeth. They're gonna be gummy.
Phatz. Stop.
Just joking with you. I like to see with the way you look.
Boy, I don't know what to say about you.
So we're ready to end for the day, but y'all make sure y'all check out Tammy and all her social medias, especially the Weight We Carry. Make sure you check that out. Or if you know someone that need help, please don't hesitate to give them the help. And you gotta make sure you come out to the TLA 13th annual fashion show on June the 8th, which Tammy will be walking. She'll be one of the featured models in there. And you just catch her everywhere. She's all around. I'm going to let her give you her social media information so you can keep up with her.
All right. You can reach me on Facebook at Tammy D. Taylor. You can also reach me on Instagram, Tammy D. Taylor _ the brand. My website is www.tammydtaylor, and you can Google Tammy D. Taylor. Can't miss it. I done said it 4 times. Tammy D. Taylor.
And she's got a blue check, so you know she's verified.
Yeah, I'm legit.
I want to thank y'all for tuning in today to Phatz Corner. Again, you know, this is me, Phatz. You know, I don't know. I just had a little too much last night. But I'm good right now. But catch up. You can follow me on social medias on Facebook at Phatz Williams. That's PHATZ. Or Instagram, that's Phatz_brand. On TikTok at Phatz_brand16. Threads at Phatz_brand. I'm Phatz_brand everywhere. Or on X, if you even still on there, at Phatz Clothing for you. Or just like Tammy said, you could Google me. Or just look for that little blue check mark. You know, we real, so we got the blue check mark. And I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I'll be seeing y'all next week when our guest will be Kayvon Hill. And she have a lot of great stuff she'll be talking about. So thank you for tuning in.